Well, hey guys, we're at the Lorraine Motel today in Memphis, Tennessee. It's the home of the National Civil Rights Museum and, of course, the site where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on April 4th, 1968. I wanted to tell the Lorraine story from a little different angle while we walk around the building. The Lorraine was built in 1925, and back in its early days, it was called the Marquette. Located here at 450 Mulberry Street, it catered to a black clientele in segregated Memphis. In 1945, a guy named Walter Bailey purchased the Marquette and renamed it the Lorraine, after his wife Lori and a popular jazz song called Sweet Lorraine. The motel was a popular destination for black travelers as it was listed in the Negro Motorist Green Book. The Green Book identified establishments that would welcome black travelers in each community across this country. Mr. Bailey not only changed the motel's name, he also added a second floor and almost 30 other rooms. The motel added a large swimming pool and drive-up parking and big front windows. This gave the motel a sort of space-age design, which was popular in the 50s and 60s. With such a snazzy exterior and a great cafe and great service, the motel hosted things like weddings and other celebrations and many business meetings. The Lorraine hosted many black celebrities and entertainers in the 50s and 60s. Some of these folks include Nat King Cole and Louis Armstrong, Cab Calloway, Sarah Vaughan, Aretha Franklin, and Sam Cooke, and even Otis Redding were all guests of this motel. Wilson Pickett's The Midnight Hour and Eddie Floyd's Knock on Wood were both composed at the Lorraine. Negro League baseball players like Josh Gibson and Jackie Robinson and even Satchel Paige stayed at the Lorraine when they were in Memphis. And obviously Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stayed here when he was in town. Isaac Hayes once said, "We'd go down to the Lorraine Motel and we'd lay by the pool, and Mr. Bailey would bring us stuff to eat, and we'd just frolic in the sun till it went down. Then we'd go back to work." The Lorraine is located really close to Beale Street and Stax Records. There's an amazing amount of music history and, well, American history associated with the Lorraine. On April the 4th, 1968, about 6 p.m., Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was leaning over the railing talking to a guy named Ben Branch, who was a saxophone player. Branch was going to play his saxophone for a meeting the two were going to later that evening. Branch was standing beside his car, which was parked close to where that Cadillac you see before you is. His children were in the back seat. A little after 6 p.m. when Dr. King leaned over the railing and said, "I want you to pray, precious Lord, for me. Play it real pretty." And those were the last words Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would ever say. And thus the Lorraine Motel is forevermore a part of one of the most important moments in American history. Well, I hope you've enjoyed looking at the Lorraine from a little different angle today, and if you're really interested in American history and civil rights history and the history of the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., then this place is simply a must-see. Thank you.